In the annals of American finance, one name stands above the rest: Morgan. The very mention of it evokes images of power, influence, and unimaginable wealth. But behind this name lies a story of ambition, strategy, and the shaping of an entire financial system. How did JPMorgan rise to become a titan of industry? What financial moves secured the Morgan family's place in history? And how does their legacy still influence the world of finance today? Stay with us as we chronicle the story of the Morgan family, a tale of banking, industry, and the empire they built. The story begins in the mid-19th century with Junius Spencer Morgan, a successful banker in London. While not born into extreme wealth, Junius recognized the power of finance and instilled this vision in his son, John Pierpont Morgan, known to the world as JP. Morgan was ambitious and shrewd, entering the financial world just as America's industrial age was gaining momentum. But it wasn't the ordinary banking route that fascinated him. It was the potential to wield real power through finance. Morgan didn't just want to manage money, he wanted to control it, and this desire would drive his rise to prominence. Morgan's first major move was in the railroad industry, the lifeblood of America's growing economy. By the late 1800s, the railroads were chaotic, plagued by competition and financial instability. But J.P. Morgan saw an opportunity. He didn't just invest in railroads, he restructured them. Morgan orchestrated massive consolidations, merging competing companies and stabilizing the industry. His influence became so vast that he essentially controlled the nation's transportation network. But it wasn't just about railroads. It was about power. He was showing America that money could shape industries, and that financial strategy could wield as much influence as steel or coal. But this was only the beginning. Morgan's next moves would take him to the very heart of American industry. Morgan's involvement with the railroads laid the foundation for his real ambition, creating the world's first billion-dollar corporation. In 1901, he orchestrated the merger that would form U.S. Steel, bringing together Andrew Carnegie's massive steel empire and other major steel companies. The result was a behemoth that dominated the industry, producing 2/3 of the nation's steel. But the creation of U.S. Steel wasn't just about industry, it was about finance. Morgan had set a new standard for corporate structure and modern capitalism, turning the art of the deal into a pathway to economic power. J.P. Morgan was no longer just a banker. He was an industrialist, a power broker, and some might say, America's de facto central banker. But his greatest test, and his most controversial legacy, was yet to come. In 1907, America faced a financial crisis unlike anything it had seen before. The panic of 1907 triggered bank runs, market crashes, and a deep sense of fear. The country was on the brink of a complete economic collapse. It was J.P. Morgan who stepped in to stabilize the economy. From his library in New York, Morgan summoned the nation's top bankers, locking the doors until a plan was agreed upon. Through a series of bold financial maneuvers, including pooling resources to back faltering institutions, he managed to restore confidence in the financial system. While some saw him as a hero, others questioned why so much power rested in the hands of one man. The panic of 1907 revealed the need for a central banking system, leading directly to the creation of the Federal Reserve in 1913. Ironically, it was Morgan's actions that exposed the dangers of too much power being concentrated in the private sector. But his legacy wasn't just about crisis management. It was about setting the foundations for the future of modern finance. J.P. Morgan died in 1913, but the legacy of the Morgan family lived on. His son, J.P. Morgan Jr., took over the reins, steering the bank through World War I and solidifying its role as a global financial powerhouse. The Morgan Bank provided crucial loans to Allied nations during the war, further entrenching the family's influence over international finance. But the Morgan legacy extended beyond any one individual. It was about the institutions they built and the financial principles they established. The firm played a central role in shaping the practices of modern banking, from underwriting and syndicating loans to mergers and acquisitions. Even today, the name Morgan remains synonymous with power in the financial world. JPMorgan Chase, one of the world's largest and most influential banks, continues to operate at the center of global finance. Their impact endures in the financial institutions and practices that define the world today. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more stories of the families and individuals who built the modern financial world.